celebrating 25 years of Jaguars football.
Trains leaving on the station. Run, get on it.
Welcome into the Lycamobile Jaguars Jam. It's Week 7. The Jags and the Cincinnati Bengals coming up Sunday at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. JP Shadrick with kicker Josh Lambo. What's up, man?
Hello and howdy.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Always a pleasure to be here.
1,000 welcomes. So we've got some questions coming up from UK media and fans.
Awesome. Perfect.
But first, a new feature this year on the Jaguars Jam is a drawing that we'll give away to fans. Each guest has to come do it, and you have about 30 or 45 seconds.
They're giving a drawing away.
Yeah, they give it away.
So someone wants my chicken scratch.
Well, you don't know what you're scratching yet. Let's create a okay, I got two options.
Two options.
You can draw one of your dogs, Lana or Wyatt.
Okay.
Or a smiley face of sorts, whatever you would prefer. But you have about 30 or 45 seconds, because we're going to preview the Cincinnati Bengals.
Are there any stipulations to this?
No. Okay. Just do it within 45 seconds. That'd be great. And you can cheat all you want. Here are the Cincinnati Bengals.
Definitely cheating.
They're 0-6. They have 4 losses by 1 score or so. You see the offensive rankings. They've struggled a little bit in the running game, of course. The defensive rankings, they've struggled against the run, especially last week. And the Jaguars hopefully can get a get-well game on the offensive side this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jags at 2-4 after the loss to the New Orleans Saints last week. The Bengals looking for their first victory of 2019. Josh Lambo is drawing, what are you drawing, a dog?
I'm drawing Lana.
Okay, Lana, one of your 2 dogs. We hear a commercial here in the States all the time with Josh Lambo doing the voice, and the dogs are involved in this thing as well. You've got about 15 seconds left, Josh, if you could speed it up. We do have some questions to get to here on the Lycamobile Jaguars Jam this week. All right, the clock's ticking. Josh Lambo is a kicker, not an artist. He's tracing. You're tracing. What are you?
You said there were no stipulations, and I'm a very bad artist or drawer or whatever.
Yeah, even that doesn't really look like my dog.
This is going very, very well. All right, let's see the final result. Let's see the final result. Hold it up.
That's bad.
Okay.
It's a bad trace.
Well, close enough. Close enough. Close enough. That's pretty good, though. I mean, on the fly like that, that's not bad.
I mean, not really on the fly. It's more on the dog.
On the dog,
but that's
okay. Autograph it, and we'll add it to the collection of photos going across the pond. Let's get to the questions today. Question number 1 from Double Coverage. You're having a great year personally. However, the team's results aren't too great. What would you say is the biggest thing that's making the difference between winning and losing for this team?
The other team scoring more points than we do when the clock expires. That's usually how winning and losing goes.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're just kind of unfortunately maybe lacking that those one or two really big plays to kind of, keep our juice going, keep the energy on the sidelines high. I mean, we've made some great plays. Unfortunately, the other team has as well. I'm just trying to. I mean, it's unfortunate because the guys are making my job much easier by getting me very close. I would just rather score touchdowns in the red zone. But that's what I'm there for. I'm the fail safe. So when things don't go well, that's my job. I wish I maybe did it slightly less at the moment, but I don't.
It comes and goes, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, the thing is, okay, so we're 2-4, and that's ugly out of 6 games. But we have 16 games to play. Hypothetically speaking, we can go 12-4, and everyone would be like, "Oh man, this is the best Jags team we've seen in a long time." We don't need to panic right now. We absolutely do not need to panic. We got a good schedule ahead of us. I think the head coach is doing a good job, kind of mediating everything with the team. And we're a really good team. Ball's not really bouncing our way right now, but we still have a lot of season left.
It's week 7 coming up. A lot of football left to come in this season. Sporting Life has the next question here for you, Josh. You're the ultimate hero or villain as a kicker. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with the pressure of knowing that the game could all come down to you?
I think being a goalkeeper at a professional level allowed me to kind of get ready for that, because as a 17-year-old, if I let up a goal, my 33-year-old defender, that's literally how he pays for his family, I could theoretically lose his job if I'm not doing well. And so it's always been a very I was introduced to a results-based business very early on in my life, and so I think that has kind of helped prepare me for being a kicker, for the spotlight, for the good and the bad.
Speaking of soccer, our next question is from Love Sport. Do you get time to watch Premier League games on Saturday morning?
Not as much as I'd like to, but I still I watch a decent amount. Actually, one of my buddies sent me a screenshot. I was actually up on the NBC Sports fan page or whatever. It was a picture of me and my dogs holding up like a Premier League scarf. One of my buddies saw it and sent it to me. He's like, I can't get away from you. But yeah, I mean, I watch as much as I can. I don't really have a specific team I root for anymore. I just kind of want to watch good football, proper football.
Proper football.
Proper football.
This isn't proper football?
No.
Here? This is American football.
This is American football.
Okay.
Very definitively.
Sam Gator, fan question coming up here. What is your favorite thing about being part of this Jaguars team? And note the British spelling of favorite.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite thing about being part of this Jaguars team? No state income tax.
It helps.
I just lowered my seat there. Honestly, my favorite part about being, and this is no knocks against the team or the organization, but my favorite part about being on this team is being in the community of Jacksonville. Megan and I just made this our permanent home. We just bought a house here. We absolutely love the community. We love the people. We've made some already lifelong friendships. I think tomorrow I will have officially been in Jacksonville for 2 years.
How about that?
I think I signed October 17th of 2017.
Wow.
So, I mean, we've already made some amazing lifelong friends in a very short amount of time.
Happy anniversary, then.
Oh, well, thank you.
A day early, I guess. Next question, Alan Wickers. At last Sunday's Panthers-Bucks game in London, we saw the Panthers elect to take a free kick. Have you ever taken one, and would the maximum distance be the same as a field goal attempt? This was right before halftime, fair catch on a punt.
I saw it.
And the guy missed it, but you rarely see those.
Yeah, the fair catch free kick, it's a very specific event that'll have to happen. Lots of things have to go the right way for that to occur. I've never tried one in a game. That game when it happened was the first time I've ever actually seen it in a game. We go over it a lot because something like that, if it does happen, you need to be prepared for it. I've practiced them in practice, just again in case it shows up. What was the second part? What would be the maximum? What would the maximum distance be? It definitely depends on conditions. Is it a dome? Is it outside? Am I into the wind? Am I with the wind? Is it cold? Is it warm?
Yeah, but is it similar than the field goal?
I would probably tack on maybe 8 to 12 yards.
Because you can line drive a little bit more. Right?
Well, you can line drive it because there's nobody trying to block it, but also too you can take your kickoff steps.
Okay.
And you can afford a more violent swing. So yeah, I could take my kickoff steps, and that's actually what I've done in practice. And I think I've hit maybe a 78 yarder or something like that in practice.
But they can return it as well if you miss it.
If it's short, they can return it. Yeah, so typically you'd have your kickoff coverage team out there, and the defensive team would have their kickoff return team out there.
It was funny seeing the videos from the stands. People are like, what in the world is
I saw that.
here? Which is, I think they would have done that in the States, too.
That sport is strange enough over there, and they're like, wait, what?
Sporting Life has the next one. With the NFL in the UK getting ever more popular, will we see more kickers from the UK? And is it an easier transition from soccer to American football to kick? I don't think it's easy. That's probably not the right
Will
word.
we see more kickers from the UK? Hopefully not until I retire. Because that's something that I'd very much like. That's very much something I would like to do.
Okay.
Is work with maybe soccer players in the UK footballers that maybe didn't quite make the first team. They're dropped out in the academy or something, or somebody maybe wants to get an American education from a university. I would very much want to do that in the future, not just the UK, but Europe and all over the place. Because Europe in general is a continent of kickers that don't know that they're kickers. I didn't know I was a kicker until I became one. And so, I think if you can swing your leg, you can swing your leg. There are a few technical things that are going to make the difference. But, I really think I've been kicking the ball since I was 4. So by the time I learned at 21, it didn't take super long for me to be able to excel at it. But then it becomes a different story of, well, can you do it on Sunday? Can you do it with pads and a helmet? Can you do it with a snap and a hold? Can you do it when the game's on the line? Can you do it when someone comes off the edge and they're in your peripheral vision? That's when so being able to kick a field goal doesn't translate to being a kicker.
few more questions left for you here. Love Sport has the next one. You're in Cincinnati this week. How much do you look into the weather forecast building up to it? The elements could play a big part. Of course, I don't know. I haven't even looked at the forecast this week, but Cincinnati can have some odd weather.
I've heard it was potentially rain, minimal wind.
Okay.
I'm excited to go back there because I haven't played there since my rookie year and I missed a kick. And so I want to be able to every stadium that I go to that I've missed a kick in, I kind of feel like I need some revenge a little bit. So I'm actually pretty excited to go back there and kind of prove that was a fluke.
Right or wrong from the past, yeah. That would be
exactly.
nice. We'll see what the weat's going to do. Pedal Ben has the next one. Why do you sometimes split kickoff duties with Logan Cook?
That is a question I would leave for our special teams coordinator.
Okay.
Because I obviously know, but I don't know if he wants other people to know. So I'm gonna keep that in house.
Strategery, as they say.
Bingo.
Right?
The more hats you can wear, the better things are. Let's just leave it at that.
I like that. Let's get to the question of the week from the Jag Tag program, brought to you by LGT Vestra US, a simplified version of American football played in schools around the UK. The question from Harry Connolly, 13-year-old from Fulham Enterprise School in London. With kickers now hitting from 60 yards, how much further back do you think it can go? Will this continue over time to expand? I mean, I feel like the 63, 64-yarders are about, there's only been a handful in league history. It's not going to go back that much further. Right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go back any further. I don't think 10 years from now, guys are going to be hitting 72-yard field goals. I don't think it's going to happen. And the reason such few events like that have occurred is, again, it's you have to be the right part of the field at the right time of the game. So many things, the perfect storm has to formulate even for that attempt to even happen. Because if it's 8 minutes left in the second quarter, you're not going to hit it. If there's 8 seconds left, you're going to hit it. But then, what are the probabilities of you being close to mid or the 42-yard line, which is not back to the 50, a 60-yard kick. That just doesn't happen very frequently. So a lot of things have to go right. And also too, those kicks are only going to happen in Denver.
A lot of them are, yeah.
And only probably in the first month and a half of the season, just because the weather turns. And I mean, kicking is all physics and science. When it's colder outside, the air molecules inside the ball move slower, so it's not going to wrap around your foot as much. So you're not going to be able to transfer as much energy through the ball. So obviously, as we get winter approaching here in the Northern Hemisphere, balls just don't travel as far.
We got a science lesson with that today. Thank you.
Again, the more hats you can wear.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the photo, or the drawing.
Yeah, I might touch that up a little bit, I'll be honest.
And we'll send it over. And thanks for coming on today, man.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Good luck to you this week in
Thank you.
Cincinnati. Josh Lambo, Jaguars kicker with us. We'll see you next time on the Lycamobile Jaguars Jam.